Hello everyone and welcome back with another content helping you to expand your consciousness from 3D into 5D and put in the path of living fully. In today's video I'm going to talk a little bit more about quantum healing as I received some questions per mail as people requested me the PDF. I talked about quantum healing codes last week. You may watch this video to make a little bit more sense what's happening here. And I want to share my first real experience with quantum healing back then many years ago. Then you can pretty much understand that all of us, we hold the power of entering in the quantum field of anything, including imbalances and diseases in our body. We have this power, however, really in a dormant way, because the way we live is stress, the chaos around us, excessive working hours, toxic relationships, and toxic food, and all of those just shut off this capability we all have. But I want to share with you how this path of quantum healing started for me many years ago, and how could I reverse my first time of almost death. It was the first time I faced death really face to face. And as I always say to my clients, look, the final decision is not ours. But if it's still time, we still have some time in the planet to cover our mission, the yes will be received, as I received already 2 times. So back then, many years ago, I was suffering for 10 years of a huge pain in the right side of my abdomen, and I didn't know what was that, and the doctors could not find what that. And 10 years later, I was diagnosed with gallstone, but not a normal one, a really huge one. Like I had a kind of this size stone in the shape of a table tennis size. And of course, I had to go on surgery, and the previews was okay. The doctor really told me, okay, the surgery is gonna be fast and everything will be fine. So, long story short, the surgery was supposed to take 1 hour long, took about 4 hours. I almost died, and I remember leaving the surgery room in a real pain. So when I woke up after, I don't know, having the strongest pain of all my life, I had a kind of a drain in my body that should be there for 1 month. I went home. I don't know, about 4 days or 6 days passed, and I realized that the drain was not working anymore. What happened in the surgery was all the connections between my liver and my stomach were destroyed. So that's why I could not have this, I should keep this drain, because basically the liquid from the liver could not go through to the stomach to help digestion. Anyways, so I realized that it was already not working, and back then I was married, so I went to hospital, and the doctor that operated me said, you need another surgery immediately. I looked at my husband back then. I said, no, I refuse. What he told me was, this doctor looked at my face and said, you are going to die. Because in 3 days, you are going to have all the bilies all over your blood, and you're going to be yellow, and you are going to have a massive abdomen infection, and you're going to pass away. I said, okay, I agree with that. Eventually, I will die, but I don't believe. Anyways, I look at my husband and I said, do not sign any paper. You go back home, stay there, everything is organized, because before going to hospital, I just left everything organized for him in case something happens. You never know. We cannot live with the idea that we're never gonna die. So what I did was I left everything ready in order, and I said, do not sign anything. And he said, you're crazy. I said, do not sign anything. Something was telling me that do not sign, do not agree. And I told the doctor, no, I don't agree with the surgery. So I was immediately put in the hospital. And he looked at me and said, it's a matter of time. I cannot force you anything, but from now on, you cannot eat anything. Only tea once or twice a day and a kind of jelly we have back there in my country. And that's all you can eat. I said, all right, I agree. Then I remember receiving a kind of a huge intuition, and I was not that spiritual that time, to connect myself with the light of the universe. And I said, what are they exactly? I have no idea, but I will do it. So I started, for the time I entered in the hospital, all the time I was there, I was just kind of imagining lights coming from the universe and just rebuilding the liver and the stomach, the connections all together. And I kept saying myself, everything is fine. My liver is perfect. My stomach is perfect. They are perfectly connected and they are working together. Remember, I was without any drain. I had no drain no more. Well, time started passing, then the intuition started coming that I should invoke green light into the place, then purple light into the place, and I should invoke the white light, the pure white light at the end. Again, I wasn't spiritual at all back then. Okay, I'm talking about 15 years ago, probably, a little bit less, but a long time ago. So then I started doing all of those, and the doctor came, look, you need a surgery. No, I don't agree. And we are in this fight in hospital all the time. And one day, 2 days, 3 days, all other doctors started coming and visiting me in my room. Are you feeling okay? Yes, I'm fine. Are you sure? Yes. So they were always checking my color and checking if I had pain somewhere. I said, no, I have no pain. I'm totally okay. 1 week passed. The doctor looked at me and said, look, I'm about to retire and I've never ever seen any case like this before. I don't know what you did, but we are gonna check you, and if everything's fine, we are gonna give you something to eat, and let's see what happens. So I was checked with an ultrasound, I guess in English, and all the connections that were destroyed were rebuilt in 1 week. And they didn't believe that. So the doctor sat in front of me. I'll never ever forget this doctor. And he told me, all right, I will give you something to eat. If you pass in this last test, you go home. And I back then they asked me, what do you want to eat? I said, I don't know, milk and coffee and bread and butter, anything. And I didn't really care back then. So they brought me and he was in front of me waiting for some reaction because he said, you were going to feel bad. I said, no, I will not. All right, so I ate that thing. 4 hours later, he sent me home. And he told me, look, I don't know what happened. I have no idea what you did, but you're free. You can go home. Then I have to confess, when I got home, I was asking myself, what have I done? What was that? And my path of understanding the self-healing started. I was kind of connected with reflexology, this fit reflexology, that I had the certification, and I was since child connected to crystals, but intuitively using for this or that. I knew how it worked before, but not in the sense of invisible. Okay, not in the invisible. After so many years studying, learning, reading, and practicing, because I had another event where I almost faced death, and I said, no, I'm here, of course, I will not share this experience because this video will be too long. But what I understood was imbalances, diseases are consciousness. And when you get the right connection within, with yourself, with your inner world, you can access the consciousness of whatever is going on in your body and transmute it. Every disease has a message. So quickly saying, if you constantly have stones in your kidney is the organ of fear. So double check how you are dealing with things. Like, are you insecure? Are you in fear all the time? So if you are having these stones, you should work in the fear, because this is the organ in your body that is the weak one that manifests as a message for you that something is going on. It's fascinating, the subject. But again, to access your quantum field, there are some energies that you have to activate. Inner connection, love, compassion, belief, faith, trust, all high vibrational feelings. And then you can really ask yourself, all right, why am I having stones in my kidney all the time? The answer will be there. And that's when you can start reversing and imagining that the organ is fine. But then you have to understand what's the fear of whatever is and reverse this fear, work in this fear. There are some techniques that are very effective. Reiki, we have in the access of the quantum field, all right? The healing light of the universe, that's a technique that I work. You have the quantum healing codes that I gave last week, and so on. We have many of that, but it's all a matter of energy. So you access your quantum field when you activate the feelings I mentioned now. And from my own experience, and afterwards, of course, with clients and with people that I share this technique, this is not my ability. I tell you that every human being has the capability of self-healing. But it's a matter of inner connection. It's going for the information, why is this happening to me? And get out of the victim. Oh my God, I always have kidney stones. No. All right, I always have kidney stones. Why? And go for the answer. Accept the answer and work in the answer. Briefly, the quantum healing codes, they come from Fibonacci sequencing. And you can, when you receive this PDF, you are having all the explanation there, the math behind, all the connections with the universe and but it comes from Fibonacci. And they are very powerful, as well as your mind. The power of self-healing is in our mind, because with our mind, we can access the quantum field. We can even understand in the quantum space if this imbalance is coming from a past life. This subject is fascinating. Again, I don't want to make this video so long. If you still want me to talk about that, just reach out. I'll be more than happy to share more information with you about that, because this is really a deep, and this is the self-healing in the fifth dimensional world. This is all what we are progressing to. This is not exclusivity from myself, and I'm sure that as far as our consciousness expands, we will have access easily to this kind of information and to this kind of technique for self-healing. So I think I leave for now. If you want to know more, just let me know. Love and gratitude button, subscribe, come back to the channel, leave your question, comment. If living fully resonates with you, you are more than happy to donate to the channel. And as always, I'm sending lots of love, lots of care, lots of blessings, lots of gratitude, and hope to see you next week again. Take care. Bye.